Joe, what did Bill Gates have to say on the Hill today?
Well, there was a lot there, Elizabeth. This was 5.5 hours of questions from lawmakers today. Bill Gates maintained his innocence effectively. And yes, although there was no alleged crime with Bill Gates associated with Jeffrey Epstein, there are still a lot of ethical questions, the most basic one being, why did he have an association with Epstein to begin with? We know from the files this happened from 2011 to 2014, that they were in communication, which is a few years after Epstein was convicted of solicitation of a minor. That was already on the record and very public. In addition to that, Gates did actually provide the committee with a couple of names he says were associated with Epstein, potentially with ties to his foundation as well. And you're right, he also alleged that Epstein was essentially blackmailing him using information about the fact that Gates was carrying on several extramarital affairs the public didn't know about, but Epstein learned about. And Gates says Epstein was leveraging that to try to maintain their relationship. Take a listen to what we heard from lawmakers really answering a couple of these questions. One, talking about the blackmail, saying that's actually a pattern that they've seen with people associated with Epstein. And also one who directly asked Gates about his relationship with Epstein and why he kept it up for so long. Take a listen here.
There were a couple of extramarital affairs that Epstein found out about from close associates of Mr. Gates, and we're not sure exactly who. He has his suspects. We also have ideas about who it might have been. But that definitely was an influence.
He saw his relationship and conversations with Jeffrey Epstein as a means to potentially get wealthy donors to donate philanthropically to Mr. Gates' global health work. He admitted that he knew of Mr. Epstein's reputation. He admitted that he knew that he had been convicted of sexual crimes. But ultimately, in his words, he viewed this narrow relationship as being an acceptable means to access wealthy donors.
And Elizabeth, we were told a lot of questions today about a draft email that Epstein never sent in the files, claiming that there were STDs that Bill Gates contracted from these extramarital affairs, trying to get medication from Epstein and get help for that so he could give to his wife. There was also the fact that today we learned Alan Dershowitz and also Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche are going to be next in terms of targets for this committee to bring in and give testimony.
The committee's going to call the acting attorney general to come in and give testimony?
That is what they said. They're hoping to do that sometime in the next month, in July. He may very well be not acting, but the full attorney general by that time. We don't know, but they are committing to doing that.
Super quick, going back to